Good afternoon. This is the second episode of the Marvel Talks. Today, our topic is LinkedIn for professionals. LinkedIn is the place to be right now. And I thought of putting together this webinar in the context of the Marvel Talks that I am delivering, so as to share my thoughts, my experiences, and generally so as to provide some value and exchange some ideas with you. We will touch a number of topics which I believe are important for everyone who is using LinkedIn, creating content, proper engagement, how to build relationships, how to maximize the value that you are absorbing from using LinkedIn for business development purposes, for building and improving your personal brand, for establishing and nurturing new relationships, and generally for being able to tap into the full potential of the platform. What you need to understand that this webinar only touches on organic means of development. I will not be discussing about paid ads. Whatever you will see today, everyone with a normal account, not even a premium account, can accomplish. So to begin with this webinar, which will be followed by questions and answers, so feel free to pose your questions as we go along. To begin this webinar, I would like to tell you a short story. In a village near Limassol, my hometown, there was this lovely pizza place established 10 years ago. It was run by a family, this really lovely family, the mother Maria, the father John, and the daughter Dimitra. They were running this place, incredibly homemade pizza, no clients, no customers, only some villagers, some residents near the pizza place, but nothing no clients from Limassol, no clients from the suburbs. And the family was really concerned, what can we do to bring more clients to our family pizza place? And what actually happened is that the father, on the advice of one of his friends, paid for a billboard ad near the highway, where there are many cars. There is a lot of attention, a lot of traffic, and many eyeballs are directed towards the billboard. And they paid for the ad, and the matching began to happen. Flocks of new customers, consumers, began to visit the pizza place. And really, after a couple of months, that place became one of the best pizza places in the country, in Cyprus. And you can message me, I can tell you about it more later on in the course of today. So what does this pizza story have to do with LinkedIn? You may be thinking, and what is the lesson out of this pizza story? The lesson is very simple. Each one of us hold in our hands a billboard right now. This thing is our profession, our free billboard. Okay, we all have one of those, and it's free because we pay for the internet connection. And there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of eyeballs looking at it every day. And LinkedIn is not an exception. So my question to you is, given that we are well aware of the fact that the attention right now is on our mobile phones, on our laptops, and our computers, and not on billboards per se, how and do we take advantage of this new reality and of this new revolution? Do we position ourselves there in a proper, competent, professional, and complete way, so that the eyes of our potential clients, customers, employees, employers, partners, you name it, will find us? Or are we invisible? Are we not in the game, in the digital game? In which case, the people who will take advantage are those on the billboard, which is those who consistently publish good quality content, those people who know how to use and leverage social media, And in the context of this webinar, those people who know the LinkedIn game, which is, as I said before, the place to be. So let's see how this question can be answered. First of all, why LinkedIn? Why LinkedIn? The first reason, 9 billion content impressions on LinkedIn weekly, okay? 9 billion content impressions, and only 3 million users share content weekly. This is an incredible mismatch. There is an incredible amount of eyeballs, okay? Passive users scrolling through their mobile phones, seeing content posts on LinkedIn, but only a very small fraction of that percentage actually use, actively post and exploit LinkedIn, which provides a huge opportunity to you, to marketeers, to professionals, to position yourself and place yourself before this massive attention, okay? So why LinkedIn? Because it has an incredible potential and there is a huge amount of attention, especially in the professional world. What else? There is an insanely high organic reach. This means that even though you don't need to pay for a lot of people to see you, you get an insanely high reach. Like in the Facebook days back in 2012, 13, where you will post something and the people on your page will actually get to see it. Now, when you post something, only 10% maximum of the people on your page see your posts. Why? Because Facebook wants you to pay for ads. LinkedIn is not there yet. So with your content, your posts, you can reach many people. And the crazy thing is that you also get a crossover reach. Your content, your message can reach not only your first connections, like the equivalent of friends on Facebook, but also the second connections and the third connections. So the connections of your connections, as well as the connections of the connections of your connections, can see your posts, your content for free. Let me give you an example before I tell you about the slow decay. This is a post that I intentionally created less than a day ago. Let me show it to you. You can see here. For the purpose of this webinar, and if you look at this post, okay, this is organic, almost 50,000 views in less than a day, 1,500 likes, and many more comments. This is insane. In YouTube, if you upload a video, you get maximum of 100 views if you have something like 50 to 100 subscribers. Here you can post something and get 50,000 views. What? This particular post that I did yesterday, I did it on purpose so as to create a viral post. Don't expect that your normal content will get 50,000 views, but you can do it as well. And basically what I did is I used a hook in the image so as to get people to see my post, which is about virality and the fact that going viral will not necessarily help you generate business. We'll come back to it later. But remember that with this post I did yesterday, I reached 50,000 people. Is it positive? I wouldn't say so, and I will explain so in a bit. Okay, so in insane organic reach, a post without paying anything, reaching 50,000 people. That's amazing. And a slow decay means that unlike Facebook and Instagram, when you post something on LinkedIn and you come after 2 weeks to check it, people continue to engage with the post. They continue to press, to react, to like, to comment, even though you stop receiving notifications after some time. So it's a good idea to go back and check your older posts. The post continues to pop up on the newsfeed of your connections after a long time. This is why it has a slow decay, unlike other social media. So let's see the next one. You can generate leads and conversions, as we shall see. Your competitors are there. So if you are not intending to be on LinkedIn and to have a respectable presence with substance, with activity, and with a daily involvement, your competitors will be there. If you are not there, you might as well be invisible. As we've seen, the attention is there. So if you are not there, your clients or your partners or your prospective clients will be seeing your competitors. So you might need to consider this. The next point is that, as we've seen, somebody who will want to make business with you, who will want to hire you, somebody who will want to work for you, who will want to refer work to you, will check you up. And guess what? If you have no presence on LinkedIn, you will leave a negative opinion. Okay, you cannot not be on LinkedIn. And since you are on LinkedIn, you might as well fully utilize your presence, have a great profile, and engage in a correct way. And we'll get there. There are tons of great free content and knowledge. Another advantage about business, about various industries: law, accounting, financial services, insurance, real estate, compliance, you name it. So even if you're just a passive bystander on LinkedIn, you can gather a lot of knowledge, and knowledge is wealth, right? You can establish and promote your brand with consistent content, with proper engagement in the LinkedIn business that we will see. And finally, and let's move to the next one, which is about virality. I've shown you a post that I did yesterday, a viral post that has reached 50,000 views so far, and I expect it to reach more than 100,000 after a couple of weeks, right? I expect it to go really high. But is it helping me? It's not helping me, okay? Being viral, having many followers, many likes, many engagements, does not really mean you will get more business. This does not necessarily mean that your virality will lead to success. Why? Because if you have 50,000 people looking at your posts who are not interested in what you have to sell in your message, you might as well get a shotgun and start shooting in the air at random directions, okay? If you are aimlessly trying to spread your message without having a targeted group of people you want to address your efforts to, you will not be able to convert this into anything worthwhile. So what you need is not virality. It's not huge numbers of likes, followers, and viral posts. What you need is vitality. And what we mean by that is that you need to create great content, quality content, both in terms of form, so the outlook, the appearance of your posts matter, and substance. What you say, the message, the genuineness, the authenticity of your message, being real, sharing real stories, being personable and relatable. As we shall see, these are all helpful things. So the first pillar is the content. The second pillar is how to engage and to be an active engager, to actively engage, as we shall see, and not post something and then disappear, because this means we are doing nothing. And we need to be deliberate. We need to have an intention. We need to understand that we are on LinkedIn for a purpose. Just one comment. I have a very good comment. I will keep posting your questions and comments. Thank you, Christos, and I will come back to them later on. So we need great content, active engagement, and the intention, and then deliberate intention to create relationships. Let's see. Content creation. We need to go native. I cannot stress this long enough. We need to go native. We need to understand that LinkedIn as a business, as an ecosystem, and business ecosystem, likes content, likes people to remain within the LinkedIn ecosystem. Sharing links, directing people to external websites, to Facebook, to YouTube, you get penalized by LinkedIn for doing so, okay? Let me give you an example. Here is a post I did a year ago, where there was a popular interview of Simon Sinek, the author, right? Everyone was sharing this interview. It's a great interview, by the way. And what I did is actually I uploaded the video on LinkedIn directly. I downloaded the video and then uploaded the video on LinkedIn. This is what I mean native. Native means you go on LinkedIn and you actually upload the video or the picture or the document, the text, and so on. By doing so, and by combining the video with my personal original content and story about trust, about trusting the process, which is it seems that it was a relatable story, this became viral. Okay, it has 1,055 likes, more than 50,000 views. Again, the virality is not the point here. The point is that by going native, you are much more likely to push and to create more traction for your post, as opposed to sharing stuff, sharing links from external websites, from other social media platforms. If you do that, okay, if you do that, you will simply get the algorithm penalize you. It will push you to the bottom of the newsfeed because LinkedIn wants people to remain within LinkedIn. And look at the style of the outlook of my post. You can see there is no bulk or chunk of text. It's line by line. It's spacious because this way, remember that you only see one line. When you scroll through your newsfeed, you only see one line. So it forces people to engage and to read and to scroll into the feed. And this keeps them in your post, which boosts your engagement, which means more people are likely to see it, right? So go native means don't share photos. Download the photo and upload it on LinkedIn with your original text, right? Or videos. Try to download. There are so many platforms and websites where it can help you download videos or upload your own videos, which also help you get a lot of exposure. And avoid sharing stuff, sharing links. This will not push your content far. And articles as well. If you publish an article on your website, or if a newspaper has published an article, don't simply share your article on LinkedIn. It will not get a lot of traction. What you can do, and I will show later on, is that in LinkedIn, let me show you now actually, you can actually publish articles. They do not have the word limit, the 1,500 character limit of a normal post, like this one. When you say start a post here, you have a limit of 1,400 characters. But if you go to the article, you can write a long article. And because you remain within the ecosystem of LinkedIn, right, you can copy the article that you publish in a newspaper on a website. Here, you check the authority and everything. You copy and paste it here. This will give you much more traction and visibility than sharing, okay? Let's go back now. And if you want to place links, external links, you can do it in the comments. Say link in the comment section below. Or for more information, click the link in the comment section below. Now, okay, we all want to link to our websites from time to time, but we shouldn't do it all the time, because if all our posts are directing people outside LinkedIn, we get penalized and our exposure and visibility gets pushed to the bottom, okay? Calls to action and all these things, ideally they shouldn't be in the form of links in the post body all the time. More on content creation. The layout pays a lot of attention. I've showed you the layout of my post on Simon Sinek. Let it breathe. Don't put a lot of text. Use a hook in your headline. Try to make it in a way that is interesting. Let me show you an example of a hook. So because people will only see this first line, remember, people will only see the first two lines, okay? So what you should do is try to use a heading that grabs the attention. What I did in this post is this is why business cards still matter. This, suggesting that I will explain why it's still, although we are in the digital age, it's still really beneficial to exchange business cards, okay? So this is a hook. It's a way for people to understand that, to spur curiosity and to attract people into the body of the post. Okay. Avoid blocks of text. Use short paragraphs, because if it's a huge paragraph with a chunk of text, people will get a headache and will simply scroll through. And you can also use emojis. You can go to the Emojipedia. It's a great website, Emojipedia. Okay, and whatever you can imagine, I mean, you can put fingers right. If you want bullet points, if you want, nice ways of highlighting your points, you can find everything on this Emojipedia. Let's go back. So the outlook, the form, the style of your posts matters as well. Use original content. The algorithm of LinkedIn, if you copy paste all the time, you will be penalized. The algorithm of LinkedIn will give you a bonus, will give you more visibility if you write elaborate, intricate, original stuff and content. Use your, try to feel like express yourself in original ways. Feel free to go at it. Use your stories, share some anecdotes, but be yourself and write original content, because it gets more visibility. Steer some controversy, okay? Not political controversy. Even in your headline, you can. Let me show you an example of my post of mine. Try to engage, to encourage conversations. In this post of mine, the title was "The Imperfect Job Seeker equals Perfect Employee." It creates some curiosity. What does it mean, the imperfect job seeker equals a perfect employee? And you see again the style of the post, not a lot of chunks of text. You give them breathing space. You allow people to scroll through your post, so people stay for more time in your post, and your post gets more visibility. And you can see that I used a native video again. It's an interview that Will Smith had in one of his movies, and it's related to the story. Basically, the post is about imperfect candidates in the sense that they don't have all the great CV items, but they have soft skills, empathy, emotional intelligence, they have humility, and all these perceived weaknesses are the new skills of today and tomorrow. Okay, so this controversy, this subtle controversy in the headline has led, together with the native original content, has led to, quite an impressive result. 778 reactions. It must be around, again, 50,000 views. Steer some controversies, encourage some conversations. Ask people, do you agree with this? What are your thoughts? And try to make it interesting for people so that they can stop scrolling their newsfeed and open your post to read it. Next. Write relatable stories, real stories. Be real, authentic. Don't copy paste other people's posts. Don't be afraid to share lessons, life lessons, to show a bit of vulnerability. And let me show you here a recent story I shared a couple of years ago. Okay, that was a very personal story. It was in a campaign I did 2 years ago about my father and some health problem he had. It was a very genuine and honest video, a native video again. And as you can see, it's when the story is genuine, real, and relatable, it gets a lot of traction. Once again, I'm not telling you that you should be doing this in your own LinkedIn profiles, but I'm giving you the flavors and the components of what can make a really attractive content for you. And you can take bits and pieces and filter them in your own ecosystem and philosophy. Next, mix it up. Guys, don't write text all the time, or image, every day an image, every day an image, every day a document. Mix it up. Okay, add a photograph, add a quote, then upload a video, then a photo, then use a slide and document and deck of cards, of slides, then repeat, mix it up and see what works, see what doesn't work. LinkedIn rewards those who mix it up and are not monotonous and dull in their content creation, okay? Very important, posts versus articles, LinkedIn always. Posts win by far. Okay, let me explain. Posts get more traction than articles. Okay, so, but posts have a word limitation. You can only go up to 1,400 characters. The articles, you can go longer. The idea is that with the article you can go longer, but you need to share it, you need to do a bit of promotion so as to get it to reach more people. But posts get more traction than the articles in LinkedIn. Posts versus shares, native original posts win by far. Don't, as I said in the beginning, don't simply share stuff on LinkedIn. Don't simply see somebody's post and share it. You will not get a lot of traction. It's better for you to create a new post and post it. Even your thoughts on something that you saw, instead of simply sharing it, create a new post. Okay, it gets much more traction. Comments equal posts. Let me tell you about this. This is so important. You need to understand that the comments that you make in other people's posts, the intelligent, the careful, the thoughtful comments that you make in your colleagues' posts, in your clients' posts, which are original and intelligent and which spur conversations, those comments appear on the newsfeed of your connections like posts. I'm sure you have seen it. Okay, let me show you an example. So even the comments that you make in other people's posts have a lot of traction. You are encouraged to write comments, to engage with the content of others. Don't be a passive observer, and don't engage only in your own posts. Go out there and engage in other people's posts. Look at this comment I did to, this is an HR influencer on LinkedIn. That's just a comment I did, okay? In her post having up to do with quitting or when to quit when you are unhappy in your job and so on. And you see this comment generated 12 likes. Why? Because this comment itself, because it's an original comment, it appears on the newsfeed of my connections, right? This is why they like this comment. And I strongly encourage you to engage in the posts of your connections. Go out there, go safari, as I'm saying. Find the people you want to connect with and comment on their posts. Show them your presence, okay? And that's the first way, the first reason as to why a comment equals a post. The second way is something even more interesting, and I do it all the time. If you spend time to write thoughtful comments in the posts of other people, okay, then this comment itself can give you an idea for a new post. So you can take the comment, copy-paste the comment, and start a new post and use that text. So you don't waste your time by spending time to share thoughtful comments in the content of your connections. You can then get those comments, copy-paste them, and create a new post. And you have a double whammy because you have visibility on the comments you make in other people's posts, and you also get new visibility because you create new posts. And especially if your comments hit a nerve and they are relatable and they instigate a discussion, as we will see, you will know which comments you should consider doing in the first posting as you post. Offer value. Avoid being a brochure pusher. If you don't want people to unfollow you or block you because this is a professional platform, I strongly encourage you. I don't like to lecture you and to preach you, but I see it all the time. I'm talking out of experience. If you want to outsource your social media management to an agent, fine, but sit together with them and understand that this automated recycling of brochures, of your services, of what you do every day, day in and day out, it's boring and it's tiring, okay? People don't want to scroll their newsfeed and see all the time advertisements. We are the best in lawyers. We are the best accountants. We are the best this. This is tiring. If people want to know about you being the best, share some good, valuable, quality content. Show that you are an expert by sharing value, giving some tips about your profession, about your industry, about the industry in Cyprus, practical things that you can show to people that you are an expert, that you care, and avoid being a brochure pusher. For example, I'm doing this webinar. Okay, it's free. There is nothing for you to sell. I haven't even asked for you to give me your emails or anything. Why? Because I'm just trying to share value, right? It's not my intention to push my services to you. It's part of my strategy to provide value in my content marketing, okay? So avoid being a spammer, avoid pushing your services all the time, blah, blah, come to us for this, for that. This is not, this spammy approach is not appreciated, and you will possibly be unfollowed by people because you will rub them in the wrong way. And if you want, what I do, maybe it's a good idea for you, if you're lacking creativity to keep up and coming up with content frequently, daily, and you lack the creativity, you can create series, right? What I do, and it works for me because it spares my creativity, let me find the cursor, is I create a series of posts. Okay. For example, I was doing a series a few months ago, some contents about why lawyers should hire a coach, okay? Then I did a series, part 1, talking about deadlines, because they will help you meet your deadlines, right? It's content. Coaching is one of the tools to help you with deadlines. So this is episode 1. Then part 2, another post of the same series. Then part 3, part 4. These are all individual posts here, okay? And at the end of this series, I bundle everything together, which is just copy-pasting the links of the previous posts. And you create a new post saying, guys, here is the series, the 10-episode series as to why you need to hire a coach. This sequencing of posts can help you remain productive and creative. And it also helps your connections follow what you're doing, because posts on LinkedIn get lost, like they get lost in the abyss. You need to go to the profiles of people, and by bundling them together, you will help people go back to them if they need to refresh their memory. Okay, so this is about content. Let's go to the next pillar. But before we do it, quality or quantity. Many people ask me, should we post qualitative posts once a month? Should we post daily, many posts? What's the answer? My answer is that you need to be doing both. Okay, you need to be posting regularly, because this shows consistency. As long as you offer value, as long as you create posts that give something to people about the industry, about the market, and that it shows that you care, that you invest time in doing this, and you also establish yourself as an expert and you promote your brand. And the algorithm also rewards people who are consistent and active users of LinkedIn. So my answer is that you should opt for both quality and quantity. I do daily, I post daily, right? Some people post even twice, 3 times a day. If you have quality content, and if your content makes sense, if it's good quality in terms of form and substance, you can do it. Otherwise, but if it's a spammy type of content with pushing your services all the time, I will advise you against it. So I would advise that you follow both quality and quantity. Engagement. First of all, engagement means reacting to other people's content, typing comments to other people's content, liking, sharing their comments, sharing their posts. This is engagement. People are sharing comments on this podcast right now, on this webinar. They are engaging with me. So first of all, on engagement, you need to understand that this is not Facebook. So there are many trolls here, but if you want to engage, to write comments, to avoid rubbing people the wrong way, be professional, be correct, and avoid doing things that are done on TikTok and platforms which are not that serious, because LinkedIn is still a very professional platform. Now, engage with your own posts. You will think that this is a strange tip. It's not. And many people do it, and you may be wondering, why do some people when they post something new, they like their own post? What I can tell you is that you can also comment on your own post. Why? Because when you scroll your newsfeed on LinkedIn, right? The psychology of the consumer, of the observer, is that if you see a post with 0 likes and 0 comments, you're less likely to be curious than a post that already shows reactions and comments, even one. So it may sound extreme to you, but I advise you to like your own posts and even comment with something like, what do you think about this post? Or here is this link which is related to this post, or whatever, as long as there is a comment and a link there. This is also a nice trick that psychologically encourages people to be more curious in your posts. As we've said before, stop being preoccupied with your posts. Engage in other people's posts, right? Not only they are following, they are viewing your content, your comments, your likes, your shares, but the followers of your connections are viewing them. Let's say I'm a lawyer and I comment on a post of another lawyer, right? Not only that lawyer will see my content, but the clients of that lawyer will also see my content. What I'm trying to say here is that we should go out and, as I've said before, engage with the posts of other people, because other people, including prospective clients, even if we do not realize it, will see our engagement. And because if we engage with the posts of other people, they will also engage with us. If we are passive and we never comment and we never engage with the posts of others, excuse me, they will also not engage with us. And secondly, the algorithm of LinkedIn works in a strange way. If you engage with my posts, you will see more of my posts. If I engage with your posts will appear more frequently on my newsfeed, okay? It's like a tango. We'll see later on in the webinar. So don't be selfish. Don't post something out and say, I did a great post. Go out there, go safari, as I'm saying, and engage, write meaningful comments to the posts of others as well. As we've seen before, even our comments in the posts of others appear on the newsfeed of our connections and their own connections, right? So let's engage with other content as well. In this way, we also warm a relationship with them, especially if we want them in our network, if we want to get close to them by engaging with their posts and writing meaningful comments. We have a better excuse than to direct message them and to tell them, I really enjoyed our exchange of thoughts under your recent post, very thought-provoking post. Next time you're in Limassol, let me buy you a coffee, whatever. So by engaging with the posts of other people, we have a better chances of connecting with them on LinkedIn, as well as with taking the conversation offline. And I will talk about it later on, okay? Don't be a spammer. We've seen, avoid writing, you go to a post, you read a great post about, let's say, the insurance industry in Cyprus, and you go under there and you post your link, contact me to provide you insurance law services. Don't do that. Don't do that. People will unfollow you and people will say you're a spammer. Write meaningful posts. Think and offer some value to the discussion, okay? You may also want to tag. This is not Facebook, this is LinkedIn. So if you're writing something about, let's say you went to a conference and my friend Andreas Ergadoudis, who is writing, hello Andreas, I see your comments, I will revert later on. Let's say that Andreas is a speaker in a conference, okay? And then I come back and I write a post on LinkedIn about what I learned, a new principle I learned in the conference. Then I can tag Andreas in my post. And because Andreas, let's say Andreas is an influencer with many connections, and I will tag him. Andreas delivered a very interesting speech, for example. I will say in my post, talking about the juice market in Cyprus and the food industry in Cyprus, and he stressed some important points. And then I tag him. And by tagging him, Andreas will see it, and most likely he will say, that's true, thank you for mentioning me. And this will generate a discussion that will also attract Andreas' connections into my profile, right? So you can also tag people, but not as a spammer. Don't simply tag people so that you will get them to like your post. This may piss some people. This may piss them off. Have a genuine reason as to why you want to mention and tag some people in your posts. But if you do it, you should be aware that it helps drive more engagement, and it also creates more, it nurtures a relationship with the person that you mention and you tag. Now, here is a big discussion. I'm not sure how many of you know about engagement pods. Engagement pods, as we shall see in the next point, are groups, like a WhatsApp group, like a Telegram group, or a LinkedIn group, between various people, okay? And because, as we have seen, engagement rewards the post, the more engagement there is in a post, the more visibility the post attracts. Some people have thought of doing the following. Let's do a group with 10 people, and each one of us will copy our posts in this group, WhatsApp group, for example. Then everyone will engage, will comment, will share, will like this post. And this boosts the post and creates more visibility. This is happening. There are many such posts. If any one of you is aware of this, feel free to drop a comment. Now, they work in the way I describe. Usually, you are obliged to engage in all posts by all members of this group, right? So if there are 10 people in the group and everyone posts daily, one post each, you need to comment and like on all 10 posts. And they do the same. So everyone will comment on everyone's comment, and your posts will have a better visibility. Is it a good idea? To be honest with you, I tried them for a couple of weeks. It may wrap you off in the wrong way. I thought it's a very obsessive, compulsive thing to be obliged to engage with everyone's posts, whether you like them or not. So it wasn't for me. I stopped doing them, but they work. And some of the biggest names you can see on LinkedIn with huge followings are in pods. Some of them even up to 10 pods with hundreds of people, imagine. And bots are something different. Bots, for example, there is a company like Octopus, LinkedIn bots, and some other companies. You pay a fee, and they can send messages to all your connections, right? Or they can send friend connection requests. You basically automate some tasks in LinkedIn, and they help you with your day-to-day business development activities. The flip side is that if you don't do it correctly, you look like a fool. A few weeks ago, somebody who was selling insurance services wrote to me, Dear Costas, I would like to set up a meeting with you. I was like, what? And then I told this guy, hi, I am Philippos. Maybe you intended this message to somebody else. And he said, oh, no, Philippos, hello, it's my bot. And it's a mistake by my bot. You know, if you are going to use bots, do it properly. Otherwise, it can really damage your reputation, and you may come across as a spammer. Okay, we finish engagement, but before we go on into relationship building, I talked about engagement pods and talked about the importance of engaging on your own posts, having people engage in your posts, okay, in your posts. But let me tell you a big secret now. Some of you may know, others may not. LinkedIn, unlike other platforms, has the velocity concept, okay? The velocity concept says that the faster you need to engage, if people, let me put it the other way around. When I post something, okay, the faster people engage with it, so if they post immediately and I reply immediately and they comment and I answer, the further the post is pushed. So the faster people engage with your posts, okay, the further it will spread its wings into the LinkedIn ecosystem. That's why when you post something, please stay or be alert or turn on your notifications and be ready to engage. When somebody comments on your post, please reply, like the post, the comment, and reply, okay? Why? Because when somebody comments, immediately his connections will see your post and his comment or her comment, right? Don't post and vanish. Like Bruce Lee here, you have to be ready, vigilant. When you post something, be alert, so that when you the LinkedIn algorithm, according to many specialists, says that within 1 hour, the more engagements you have on your posts, the further your posts will be pushed into the LinkedIn stratosphere. Okay, so you need to be alert and present so as to engage and reply to comments and make sure that you're present and you are not absent, especially within the first hour after posting your article or your post or whatever. Something else that I often do, what you can do is when somebody comments on your post with an interesting comment, you can reply with a question. Why? To push the conversation further, especially during the first hour. Let me give you an example, okay? Here, my friend Rodrigo wrote a comment to one of my posts, okay? It's the Simon Sinek post. And he wrote to me about something regarding the 62 McLarens and Elon Musk, okay? Something that he said. And I replied with a question. Wow, only 62? Are you talking about the special edition McLaren F1 only? And then he replied again. Okay, yes, McLaren F1. So this back and forth, this conversation, okay, these questions in the comment section push the post further, okay? You see, it pushed the conversation further. More people see it, okay, than less. So let's be alert and let's try to keep people within the post. And the other point that I would like to circle around, as we've said before, we need to engage with the posts of others and leave our 2 cents. We see a post that interests us, leave your 2 cents, leave your comment. That's very interesting, but I think with the new compliance rules in Cyprus, for example, a comment, things will become difficult in banks. What do you think? So spread your comments here and there. This helps your profile visibility more than you think, and it draws people's attention to you, as well as the attention of the author of the post which you comment to. That's it. Let's move to the next pillar, which is the most important one, because if you are not building relationships or nurturing relationships on LinkedIn, I think you should reconsider why you are on LinkedIn. First of all, I think we need to think very carefully as to why we are on LinkedIn and who are our targets. Whom would you like to work more closely with? Whom would you like to connect with? Whom, either as clients or as partners, joint venture partners? And what is your aim, your purpose on LinkedIn? Are you a marketeer that looks for clients, a lawyer that looks for foreign lawyers to refer work, an accountant that looks for new work, a tax advisor, a real estate agent? You need to understand and define, why am I here? What's the reason that I'm here? Okay. Then, who are the key people in those firms? Who are they? If I am a lawyer and I want to attract a bank, for example, for my services, who do I want to work with? Perhaps the in-house legal department of the bank, perhaps the CEO, or some of the director of legal affairs. I look them up, okay, on LinkedIn. I wouldn't go and connect with them right away. If they don't know me, there is a significant chance that they will not accept my request. I can go and check their profile and even check their activity. If the profile is public, I can check the latest posts and I can comment on their latest posts. This is stalking, as I will see later on, but it's the name of the game. If I want to approach certain people, I need to find a way to do it. Or if I attend an event where they are speakers or where I meet them, then I reach out and connect with them with a personalized message. You know, hi, I'm Philippos. I enjoyed our discussion over coffee in this conference. Let's connect here. Or I read an article that they wrote in the press. Then I send them a message, right? I enjoyed your article. I think we share some really calm opinions on the matter of the banking laws in Cyprus or whatever, the new real estate developments or the Brexit or whatever, and then I reach out. So I need to understand whom I should like to connect with and make a list. let me tell you something. Even people who are non-key players in the organization I would like to approach, even if I want to approach a bank, as I've said before, maybe I cannot approach the in-house lawyer or the director of legal affairs. But if I can approach some other people, let's say a compliance officer or the marketing director, and connect with them, because by connecting with somebody in that organization, they become second connections to me. If that other non-key person engages with my posts or I engage with their own posts, then the key people in the organization who are first connections of that non-key person will also see my posts and my comments, and I can come closer to them. Okay, so don't discard the possibility of connecting with non-key players in the organizations you would like to approach, because indirectly you can approach them through them. Warm up, nurture relationships via interactions and reach out, as we have seen. Engage with the content of other people, especially those you would like to warm up a relationship. Go to their profiles, try to find their posts. You can go, and I can show it to you later on how to do it, and comment. Show to them that you exist. Spur their curiosity. Begin an interesting conversation around something that you both value, and this is more likely to lead to them taking notice of you, connecting with them, and perhaps in the future you can also send them a direct message or ask them for a coffee or whatever, as long as it is natural and it is not spammy. This is a stalker mode. Once again, it's a trick that it's being done. You visit the profile of the person you are not connected with. You see their online activity. If it's a public profile, and many profiles are public, you can see it. You can go to their posts and see what they post and leave your comments there, okay? This will put you on their radar. Maybe not from the first comment, but if you keep at it, you will also be able to warm the relationship with them. Now, how to convert attention to revenue, the $1 million question, right? The $1 million question. You may think that there is a ready and easy solution to this. I would say that to convert attention into revenue, you need to combine a number of components and factors, okay? First of all, remember that LinkedIn can only work if we are intentional and deliberate about it. The first idea is that to convert prospects into revenue, you need what I call a tango between offline and online. The people that we meet offline in conferences, in events, in celebrations, on the street, in conference rooms, then we immediately pursue to connect with them online for the reason we said before. So when we meet somebody, we get their card, whatever, then we go on LinkedIn, we send a personalized message, and we connect. But the other way as well. So when we meet somebody online, when we connect with them, and when we warm up the relationship with some engagement, comments, sharing, perhaps some direct messages, perhaps some references from some third parties as well, then when the situation matures and when there is an opportunity, for example, let's say you plan to go to London, okay, to meet some accountancy firms, and you've been having this online conversation with an accountant in London, you can message or email them and tell them, you know, I've been really enjoying our conversations on LinkedIn. I'll be in London in that week. I'll be very happy to pop by for a coffee. If you are available, let me know and we can make it happen, right? So the people you meet online, ideally you should pursue to hook up with them offline as well, because this is where you actually close deals. Unless if you have a commoditized product, you are not likely to sell your services online, and you need to, you know, shake that hand, get into that archetypical business development trust earning dialogues. And that's why you need to combine the online with the offline. The people you meet offline, you bring them online and you continue to engage with them to warm the relationship and to keep it going. And the people you meet online, you look for opportunities to meet with them offline. They take that conversation offline. Very important to convert leads, to convert your efforts into revenue, you need to think of the funnel. The funnel, okay, what's the funnel? The idea of the sales funnel is that you need to keep your funnel full at all times. So imagine that there is a tap of water continuously running on top of the funnel. If you don't turn off the tap, it will overflow. That's the idea, is that you only convert around 5 to maximum 15% of the leads, of the meetings, of the offers you send, of the eyeballs that land on your website and on your call to action. So you need to understand that it takes continuous effort to convert work into actual tangible projects, which means that you need to continue your content marketing, your engagement, offering value, writing articles, exploiting the immense possibilities offered by the internet and by LinkedIn. Do some webinars, perhaps, do some videos, do some tips, do some Zoom calls, offer some value. And by doing so, you're much more likely to increase the likelihood of conversions. As you will see here, there is a maximum 15% conversion according to traditional sales theory, which is compatible with the online world. That's why you need to combine your approach, you combine your efforts, be consistent, combine quantity and quality in your approach as regards to posting, engaging, so as to improve your chances of converting revenue, attention into revenue, because we are talking about attention. There is nothing automatic at all. And let's not forget that sales, there are two paths ahead as regards to sales. The path on the left, the red triangle, is the traditional hard selling or hard sellers approach, hard salesperson approach, who will go before building trust, who will go right into his offer or her offer. Hi, I'm Philippos. I would like to offer seminars to you for this amount of money. And immediately it will generate, you can see the triangle, a huge number of questions. Then I will need to present my offer in an elaborate and intricate way. Then to close the sale, I will need a huge amount of time because of objections, because I haven't spent the time to build trust. The green triangle pyramid, on the other hand, as you can see, is the other way around. You spend a lot of time building trust. On LinkedIn, this means being consistent in your online approach, posting valuable stuff, commenting in other people's posts, engaging, showing your presence, sharing value, not being a spammer, okay, not being a brochure pusher. And by building trust, okay, and by taking the time to address questions, to explain what it is that you do, to explain what it is that should be of interest to your prospects, then you need less time. You can see the triangle in your sales presentation, less time to convince your prospect that you are trustworthy, and even less time to convert, to close the sale. Okay, so when you are using LinkedIn to develop business and relationships, I think you should seriously consider the green pyramid, which is spend the time to build your brand, your personal brand, to build trust, and then delve into the situation of offering people what you do and trying to generate revenue out of your relationships and your interactions. Okay, that's the idea. Now, wrapping the webinar up, it's very important to understand that you need to have your profile set in public mode if you would like maximum visibility on your posts and your engagement. And it's very easy to check it out. You go on your profile and you check whether your profile is set to public. Okay. If your profile is set to private, then any efforts that you invest in generating content and in trying to generate business will be completely futile, because you will be cutting down extremely the number of people who will be seeing your online activity. So make sure that your profile is set to public. Then I think that it's really worth going to the trouble of fully completing your LinkedIn profile to the all-star level, right? If you have incomplete LinkedIn profiles, your visibility will drop down dramatically. Why? Let's say that you have not included your past employers in your profile. This means that your posts will not be seen by the employees and connections of your past employers. That's a small example. So, or the university, if you don't state where you studied, potential prospects who have also studied in the same university will not have the benefit of seeing your posts. That's how the algorithm brings people together. So make sure, I would suggest, that your profile is set to all-star. And again, you need to complete everything. And when you do it, you will see this all-star sort of mark on your page. It shouldn't be difficult to do it. If you have a fully completed and public profile, you are 40 times more likely to receive opportunities and for your activity on LinkedIn to land before the eyes of the right people. So it's worth it. You should take the time, I think, to complete up to date your profile. Now, if you would like to see more about social selling, about LinkedIn, and about other social media, I strongly suggest that you follow the work of Gary Vaynerchuk, who is, for some people, a media guru. He began a YouTube channel in 2005, I think, posting videos on YouTube about wine and grape varieties and these things. And now he has I think a 1 billion conglomerate, a media company that offers services to Fortune 500 companies. And what I'm telling you are in line with the principles that he's writing in his books, and his posts are really full of valuable information. Actually, he recently said, just before the new year, that in 2020, okay, being a media company or a content creator is as important for your business as knowing how to manage your cash flow. I mean, I cannot stress enough how important it is for you to have a respectable online presence, not a passive one, but an active one, and to take full advantage of the fact that every one of us right now, okay, is a media tycoon. This is your media company, right? And you have an opportunity to make your voice, to convey your message to the world, and to communicate in ways that were thought completely impossible before with the traditional media. The personal brand will be crucial in 2020, so I suggest you take into consideration investing the time needed to polish your personal brand, your online activity, and to become more actively involved in it, because, as we all know, the experts and the celebrities are those who take most of the rewards in today's digital world. I wouldn't advise you to go as far as be a new Kim Kardashian, but for sure, okay, if you build a well-honed and polished personal brand, and if you create an activity that is reflective of your personality, your expertise, your background, your intention and the value that you wish to bring to the world, you are much more likely to create a fan base of the smallest viable audience, which doesn't have to be huge. Okay, even a base of 100 people can who are willing to engage in your content and to follow you and to create deep connections with you can be enough. Now, this is the end of the webinar. I hope that you have gained some insights. Now I will be answering some questions. I already have some questions here. Thank you for staying until now. Feel free to post more questions until I review the ones that have been posted already. Andreas Ergadoudis. Hello, Andreas. I think Andreas was discussing about the idea of publishing posts which are connected to our industry or market or profession on a frequent basis. And that's connected to the comment I made about bundling your posts or creating series. That's something that can really help you establish yourself as an expert, and it can create traction for you. Now, how often you should be posting is the second question of Andreas. As I've said in the beginning, there is no textbook. You can even post daily, as long as what you post conveys value and has some logical sequence and some logical consistency and philosophy behind it, okay? If you invest the time to create content with care, with thoughtfulness, with intelligence, with relatable stories, and with value, I have no doubt that people will be interested in following up with your new posts. Christos Papagiriakou, well done. I was not aware specialists on LinkedIn existed in Cyprus. Christo, thank you for this. Actually, I'm not a LinkedIn specialist and I'm not a marketing professional. Just to tell you my background, I am a business strategist. I offer services. I train people. I coach people. But because I've been using LinkedIn and everything I say here comes from my personal experience, and this is not things I've read in books, I felt that I wanted to share this with you so as to gain some of the insights and the value that I feel that I have gained through the past two years, because this is 2 years, basically. Christos also said that I write articles and take a paragraph and post it, inviting them to read more. Yes, that's a great point. You can also write the whole article on LinkedIn, as I said, but I would avoid simply sharing articles from your website on LinkedIn, because it's a pity not to take advantage of the higher traction that the native article function of LinkedIn provides. And I agree with Christos that you can also add teasers in your posts. For sure, you should add text even when you're sharing stuff, because this entertains higher chances of boosting the visibility of the post. Another comment, I decided to answer 30 questions received from customers, computer users on electricity problems and UPS protection. No comments or shares. I understand your point, Christos. People in Cyprus are not really active, and here is your related comment. They don't really get many comments, and I get furious. Why? When I see a comment, let's say from a lawyer, let's say a lawyer writes something very interesting about the new laws on gambling, and then I write a comment under their posts, right? This is a very interesting article you wrote. I should add now, with the new tax rules, I think the gambling industry will be more in line with what is going on in the EU, whatever, okay? That's just an example. And they don't spend the time not to like my comment, not nothing, not to reply, not to engage. That's a pity, because when somebody comments on your posts, as we have seen before, you have a great opportunity to reply, not only to nurture the relationship with them, but to create more traction for your post. By posting and disappearing and leaving orphan comments under your posts, you are much more unlikely to create traction for your online LinkedIn activity. Okay, Christos, you are absolutely correct, and it saddens me to see that most LinkedIn users in Cyprus are passive. They don't really engage. I'm not talking about other social media now, but we are talking about LinkedIn, where there is a tremendously rich, or there is a tremendous organic reach, a crossover reach we've seen. And we have the velocity concept that LinkedIn applies, where the faster people engage in your comments, the further they push your post, but they don't engage, they don't comment. That's a pity, and I think that this is something I hope my webinar will help people understand, that they need to engage with people who engage with their content, okay? I think there is another comment. Hi, Esme, thank you for your comments. Let me answer a few of your questions. When we share an article in a newspaper, for example, how is this perceived? The general rule of, that's a great question, okay? And it's difficult to avoid sharing stuff. And you cannot simply copy stuff from a newspaper. I think that's a violation of possibly IP rights. Now, LinkedIn does not like you including external links in your posts. Okay, the LinkedIn wants viewers to remain within the LinkedIn ecosystem. Okay, so the best way to do it is to direct people in the comment section. You could write, for example, there was a very interesting article in Philippos today, for instance, on the rates of divorce following the coronavirus. Okay, what you can do, Esme, you can have a screenshot of the article, upload that screenshot as a native comment, native content, because by uploading a photo, which is the screenshot of the article, you upload native content, so you trick the algorithm, and then telling people to read the whole article, see the link in the comments. If you drop the link to the external website in the comment section, you don't get penalized. So that's how I do it. If I want to share an article in Sigma Live, for example, I take a screenshot of a part of the article, I upload the screenshot as native content or in my post, and then I say to read the article, see the link in the comments. This way, you sidestep the penalization because LinkedIn doesn't scan the comments so as to see whether you are directing people outside LinkedIn. Okay, so it needs a bit of clever tweaking as to how to do it. It's not, I wouldn't say you should never share things on LinkedIn, but if this is the only thing you do, you will not boost your online presence as much as you could, and it's a pity. And we know that this is how LinkedIn works. Another comment by Esme, for example, if we share now during the pandemic recent developments on government issues, these are very good things to write about and to post about because they are relevant, timely, and relatable. Remember that the more timely and relatable your posts are, where there is a visceral sort of inclination by your audience to read them, the better it is. I mean, if you write now for the Spanish flu or for Chernobyl or whatever, okay, this is not a timely thing to do. But if you write about COVID, if you write about work from home, the pandemic, the new government decrees, of course, it will gain more traction. But you can do what I said. You can upload a screenshot of those articles. You can write native content in your post, and you can drop the links in the comment section, okay? This way, because you use native content, because you upload a photo in LinkedIn, you get rewarded and not penalized. I hope this answered your question. Thank you for your kind comments on the excellent webinar. Stavros, very happy to see you. Thank you for your support. Very informative always. It's a pleasure to have you on board here. Hope to catch up soon. There is another comment. I think we can wrap up. Christos Papagiriakou, IT manager contacts actually said they prefer emails and do not follow LinkedIn. Okay, let me tell you again that LinkedIn is here to stay. It's a tremendously influential platform, or the key player of major organizations, law firms, accountancy firms, real estate developers, insurance companies, food and beverage companies. They are there. If we choose not to be active on LinkedIn, we might as well choose to be invisible, Christos. And if you are invisible, the people who are visible are those who are much more likely to appear before the eyes of their potential clients and prospects. Okay? So if the IT's decision is not to have an active, if at all, LinkedIn policy, I think it's not the IT manager's decision. I think this is a strategic decision, a leadership decision, because the failure to be present on LinkedIn is no longer a luxury. LinkedIn is a necessity. As we've said, people will look you up on LinkedIn, you and your company, right? If you are not present on LinkedIn, this will affect your business, full stop. So it's not a matter for the IT manager, it's a matter for the leadership to decide on the strategy within the context of the digital marketing strategy of the firm. Okay, if I don't have any other questions, I will wrap this up. Thank you for being present, for your patience. If you would like any more information, feel free to contact me. Feel free to like my Facebook page and to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and come to say hi on LinkedIn as well. And hope to see you soon, and have a fantastic rest of the week. Bye. Take care.